My name is Zane Marshall. I'm the co-owner of a company called Visionary Concepts and Van Gogh Consulting. We're a management consulting firm located within the Washington metropolitan area of Prince George's County. We founded in 2013. We help people launch their own businesses. We offer an array of services, long-term and short-term services, to transition people into their full potential, small businesses, nonprofits, and individuals. Our core services include the establishment of for-profit entities, nonprofit organizations, career development, resume writing, and strategic planning. Some of our company partners consist of Maryland University, WUSA 9, an organization called the Kingdom Chamber of Commerce, and Destiny Development Business Solutions.
Good morning, you guys. How are you guys doing today? I know it's raining. I'm gonna get you guys a little bit pumped up, okay? So I made something for you guys. I prepared a little something for you. I believe anything is possible. I see opportunity when others see impossibility. I take risks. I am focused. I hustle. Oh, baby, I hustle. I know that nothing is unrealistic. I feel overwhelming passion because I embrace what I am called to do. I take leaps into the unknown. I take leaps into the unknown. I contribute to something bigger than myself. I create. I learn. I grow. I take action. I believe you're never too old, you're never too young, and it's never too late to live your dreams. I am an entrepreneur. So that's who I am. I'm an entrepreneur. I own my own business. It's called Destiny Development Business Solutions, LLC. And what I do is I help businesses launch, grow, or improve their business through effective planning. So on a daily basis, I get up in the morning and I start my business, and I don't have somebody to answer to other than my creator. So how many of you guys want to be entrepreneurs? Okay, we got 3 bold people. All right. So today we're going to talk to you a little bit about the differences between an entrepreneur, a careerpreneur, or a person who wants to do a career, or a jobpreneur. So we have a few slides here where we talk a little bit about the differences between the 3. And so, for example, I said that I get up every morning and I decide what I'm going to work on for the day. But any entrepreneur, any business owner, the 2 things that they're focused on is getting clients or customers and keeping clients or customers. So every day when I wake up, that's my focus. My focus is how am I going to get a new client and how am I going to keep the clients that I have. So I'm going to ask you guys to see what kind of personality types you have. So on the next slide, I want you guys to read through it, and I want you to determine where do you fall in those 3 areas.
Is that readable? Do you need to turn the lights out? I tell you what, Ms. Campbell, could you turn the lights out for us, please? Thank you. Is that better?
Okay, so anybody a 1? Who likes fast cars? Okay, we have 3 people who will admit they like fast cars. Who likes, anybody have or want a hoverboard? Okay, there you go. So those are those risk takers. So if you're number 1, you're a risk taker, and typically a entrepreneur is somebody who sets out on their own course. On the slide before that, you saw a whole group of people going together. Then you saw that one entrepreneur going off by itself. That's what people who own their own business. They're trailblazers. They make their own path. And then number 2, you're pretty laid back. You like to get instructions from your friends. You kind of follow along with the crowd, or maybe you're meeting up with friends is the best part of the day. So who's the popular one? Point them out, guys. Who's popular? Who's the popular one in here? So those are those people who like to support other people, and there's nothing wrong with that. They like to support others. They like that whole, the fun and all of that. And so they're more a person who probably would want to want to work on a job. And then the last person is classwork is really important to me. Not to say it's not important to the other ones. I'm a teacher's pet. You know you like hard work. You know you love things to be perfect, and you won't try after you make several mistakes. And the number one entrepreneur person, they're going to make mistakes and keep on getting up and trying again. So that last person is more of a career person. That person, this is just for fun, no science here. They like the win-win. So you're going to college, you're getting your college education, you're going to work for somebody else, you're going to help their vision come to pass, but at the same time, you're building your own, what we call a mushroom. You're building your own plan. So yeah. So who's a two? Anybody? We got the twos in the rooms. All right. Who's the threes? Most of you guys are going to be threes, probably. The rest of you guys, I'm assuming, is a three. So, all right. So next slide. That's just a little fun.
So how many people in here have jobs currently? That's good. What are some of your jobs? What do you do?
I don't know. What's here?
Or what do you work?
I work at Red Lobster.
Oh, that's cool.
Awesome.
Anybody else?
Anybody else
back?
want to say what else?
What is that?
Oh, yeah, that's what
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, my first job before I started my own business, I worked at where did I work? Oh, the Washington Times. I worked there for 2 hours before I quit. And then and then I worked at Walmart. I worked there like 2 weeks, you know, for my first paycheck. Then I quit. The pay wasn't good enough for me, so I quit.
And that's true.
It happens. It happens. Your job is like a short-term goal. It's not something you'll really, you know, stay there for a long time. It's not something like, oh, I just want a job and work forever. It's not one of those things. More so you want a career, not a job. But, you know, it's a great place to start out, build your experience. Pretty much you're contributing to the company's vision. It's to really benefit self. It's not really, you know, overall like, you know, this is where I want to see myself in the next 10 years here at McDonald's, you know. Not saying there's nothing wrong with it, but it's a starting place. You do given tasks as ordered. You're thinking on a daily basis versus, you know, on a month-to-month or a week-to-week or something long-term. And, yeah, it's just short-term.
It's just short-term.
Having experience with
So yeah, my first job was I worked at a daycare. And so I think I was 16 or 17 years old working at a daycare. And so I wanted to do something where I was, you know, helping kids and stuff like that. But it wasn't something that I was focused on doing long term. It was just something that I was going to do, park there, you know, get a little money, save some money when I was a younger person. But what I like to leave with you guys is, I always tell, I have 2 kids that are about, well, they're older than you guys, but I have 2 young children, and what I told them when they were young, and I'm going to tell you guys the same thing. When you guys start off on the job path, make sure that you're doing something that's in line with where you see yourself ending up. Now, right now, your goal is, hey, I need some money. So it's not, you guys are in high school, so it's not so much important right now. But after you leave high school and you start going off into college, then think about, where do you want to be in the future? What's your goal? So if you're trying to become a doctor, then maybe you might want to, you know, work at a doctor's office. Maybe become a receptionist at a doctor's office. Because I can't stress enough that as an entrepreneur especially, relationships are everything. So you're building relationships and you're thinking about your future now. So, you know, I just want to leave that with you guys as you think about, you know, if you guys are, you know, right now you're in the job phase. I don't think too many of you guys are thinking about starting your own business right now. Is there anybody in here who's thinking about or already has a business right now? You do? Okay, yeah. Well, there are some people. I think you mentioned somebody who's 12 who has,
Yeah. A young girl I used to work with, well, she was like a client, but yeah, she was 12. And she has her own jewelry business, and she's doing quite well. I actually started my first company in the tail end of 16. I was still in high school, but yeah. That was my first company.
Career people, those were those number 2s. You see yourself as a part of a team. So you're a team player. You think how the job benefits the organization, It's all about that continuous learning. After you get your first degree, you'll probably go back and get that master's or the PhD, doctorate type of deal, and then contribute in a greater way. Have you guys ever heard of a think tank, or what are those? What's another word for a think tank? Anybody ever heard of a think tank? Those are those people they're real brainy. They have all those degrees, and they sit around and they pay them for their ideas and their thoughts. And so, and then you have they're thinking advancement, define the career path. Like I was talking to you guys when you guys leave high school, or even now. I mean, when I was in high school, I mean, nothing wrong with this. I never worked fast food because I always had my future in mind. I always thought, how can this benefit me as becoming the president of my own organization one day? So I was always trying to understand how businesses worked. And so, I guess if I had worked at McDonald's, I still would be understanding how businesses worked. But in my mind, I was thinking, well, if I'm young, so I was thinking, if I'm flipping a burger, I'm not sure how that's going to relate to my future later. That was just me. But yes, McDonald's has a very good business model, and I would change that now. So I would just say that if you work fast food, look at their systems, look at how they're doing things so that they can become the number one or number two, fast food organization in the nation. Probably up there in the world in terms of fast food. But like I said in the last class, I kind of stepped off of McDonald's when I found out that they had 17 ingredients in their French fries. So I don't eat at McDonald's. But anyway, so just think in terms of future. What do you want for the future, and tie whatever you do into what you want to do long term. So.
Entrepreneurship, which is my favorite subject. How many people wanted to start a business again? What was your
the numbers went down. Wait. The numbers went down. I thought I saw 4 people who want to start a business. Who wants to start a business?
That's it.
One person.
What kind of business would you like to start?
I kind of wanted to do music streaming, but I'm not too sure anymore after
After what?
Apple Music.
Oh, okay. Competition is, are there more than one fast food places out here? Yep.
Okay.
So you have something that nobody else can do. I mean, you're unique, so whatever you think of, somebody else may not have thought of. In the last class, I mentioned Mark Zuckerberg. Anybody know who that is? Okay, the Facebook guy. He did not come up with the whole entire concept for Facebook by himself. He actually had, I think it was either 3 or 4 partners with him. And they are also on the billionaire list, but you don't hear their names. They're not as popular as him. And he also, if you go back and look at his whole bio, it was sort of an evolving process for him to get to Facebook. And he also used some ideas from some of the other partners that he had. So, in other words, your idea, it may seem like somebody else already has that idea. Because I recently thought of an app myself, and I was like, and then I looked it up, and I said, oh, somebody else has it. But I'm watching it right now to see what the kinks are, so that I can make it better. So that's kind of what healthy competition. You've got, McDonald's on one side of the street, Burger King on the other side. So you can do it.
Anything possible.
Yeah.
The same thing like with my company. There's there's millions of other, consulting firms in this world, in this area. However, it's called your niche, what makes you different, what makes you unique, and I spoke about it earlier today, and that's something that your competitors may not have. So whatever, gift that you have, I just say use it to your full advantage, and I think that's what, benefited my company and my growth as a young entrepreneur, and that benefits other companies as well. So it's a great thing. But about entrepreneurship, it's a sacrifice. It is possible. It's hard, but you have to be very disciplined. Budget management, I kind of highlighted that because that's highly important. When I started my first company at the age of 16, I was still in high school at that time, and I was still working. So it wasn't as hard. However, certain things that I couldn't do because, I had a business, and you have a lot more responsibilities than you would working a regular job, a 9 to 5 job. Budget wise, you just can't do anything because you gotta worry about, you know, your employees. I personally have 5 employees right now. And you gotta, you know, can't eat out all the